Hey guys, and welcome back to Realism Overhaul. Today we have a small mission here concerning the MOTH missions. I believe this is its fourth flight, so we'll call it MOTH 4. MOTH 4 is going to go into orbit and perform MOTH's final re-entry testing. For this one, it's using the exact same rocket, no modifications to it as the previous orbital flight. But this time, the upper stage is actually going to work. What happened with the last episode is I had the wrong tank type, which caused a fuel error. Forget exactly what it was, but something wasn't right. The engine would not ignite, so we lost the capability of testing any high velocity re-entry other than just LEO. So that's exactly what this mission is. The same testing as the previous mission, this time with a successful orbiter. So it's the plan was to basically boost from LEO up to a periapsis in LEO still, but an apoapsis close to geostationary, and then re-enter using multiple passes that way to make sure the craft can orient itself successfully and not blow up successfully, going very fast through the atmosphere, basically kind of an aero brake test. But anyway, to get back onto what's going on the screen right now, launch was perfectly nominal. We have stage separation. The orbiter is, well, in orbit. Everything has gone perfectly thus far. And what I wanted to talk about today is actually a few sort of changes, sort of enhancements that I wanted to make towards the channel, because this is a channel I would like to grow. I'm going to be implementing scheduling in the form of a video every Saturday at the very least. That means no more waiting multiple weeks for another video to come out, because I know that I have been doing that lately. At the very least, there will be a video every Saturday. I don't know what time Saturday, because that depends on my schedule, but I will get one out every Saturday. And like I said, that's the least. If I have more time and I have more footage, more videos during the week, I will definitely be putting out more videos than just once a week. But for now, it's a good start to start a routine with this, basically. And this is MOTH 4 boosting itself into a faster orbit, into a higher orbit for re-entry testing here. Like I said, everything with MOTH is going ahead as scheduled. Everything's going perfectly fine. No hiccups whatsoever. Well, except for, last episode, but we don't talk about that. With the mission underway, there was actually one other thing I wanted to mention towards the future of this series specifically. And that is, I plan on upgrading from 1.2.2 to game version 1.3.1. And that entails switching from RP-0, Realistic Progression 0, to RP-1. And I initially thought that I could maybe skip ahead the different tech trees and skip ahead to the date specifically I wanted to go to. But the thing is, there's a lot of changes that happen between RP-0 and RP-1. There's changes to the tech tree, there's changes to procedural parts, there's changes to crew things, there's a lot of changes, and it wouldn't feel right to skip through all of the beginning stages of RP-1 just to get up to where I was in RP-0. So my plan is, in this series, in 1.2.1, I'm going to land on the moon, and once that is complete, I will switch over to 1.3.1, and we're actually gonna start fresh. So we get to go through all of the beginning parts of RP-1, so we don't skip any of the cool changes that is part of it. And Realism Overhaul is, from what I'm told, going to update to 1.6.1 in the future, and that is going to be a very good day. A very good day indeed. I'm going to be really happy when that day happens. And my plan, long term, whenever that does happen, is this will be mid RP1 in 1.3.1. Hopefully, hopefully there isn't an RP-2 at that point and it's still RP-1, because if it's still RP-1 when they update to game version 161, I can seamlessly move 131 to 161 and do what I mentioned I wanted to do, which was skip ahead in the tech tree, port vessels over, skip ahead to the date that 131 left off, and just start there in 161, sort of just an enhanced version. And hopefully I'll be able to do that. But yeah, that's it. I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited to go into 131, and that is for the fact that I'm adding Principia to the mods. And I know I've tried this. I've tried it in another episode, but I've actually been experimenting with Principia in stock KSP. Well, sort of stock. I have USI mods and stuff like that. But my initial concerns about Principia was that it hurt my computer's frame rate a lot. And it was also confusing to me. It was very confusing to me. But since I've been messing around with it in stock KSP for a long time, I actually think I've got a pretty good understanding of how it works. And I've actually come to thinking it's easier than the regular stock physics. And just a small synopsis of Principia is it adds n-body physics. The simplest example would be Earth and the Moon. In stock KSP, you blast off from the planet of Earth and nothing else is affecting your gravity, no matter how far away you go from Earth, as long as you're still in Earth's sphere of influence, which is a mechanic in Kerbal Space Program. So if you get as close to the Moon as possible without going over the altitude that would switch from Earth's sphere of influence to the Moon's sphere of influence, your orbital trajectory is still completely not affected. And with Principia, it just throws that out the window. So you could get closer and closer to the Moon and still technically in Earth's sphere of influence, according to the game mechanic. But as you get closer and closer to the Moon's gravity is actually going to also start affecting your trajectory. So your orbital lines are going to look like spaghetti. You're going to have to worry about gravitational pull from anything in space, basically. I don't know if actual crafts have their own gravity, but definitely celestial bodies, all the planets, all the moons, are affected by each other's gravity, and your craft is also affected by its gravity. So there's a whole lot more math involved. There's an entire new UI involved. There's a bigger learning curve involved, but there's a lot of realism involved, and that is what I put this mod in the 131 install for. The 131 install, it works. I have it installed. Have not started playing it yet though, because I'm saving that. Because if I start playing it now and then go back for the series, I'm gonna make less mistakes, and you guys want to see mistakes, right? I mean, mistakes are bound to happen, and I want to document all of it. So yeah, back to the mission. Moth 1 completely, 100% successfully completed its mission. It passed Earth and flew through its atmosphere, I think 3 or 4 times, and sort of skipped out of the atmosphere and came back in. The heat shield performed phenomenally. The craft didn't spontaneously explode, and the crew was home safe, and which means re-entry testing is absolutely 100% successful for Moth. And as I said in the last episode, its next mission would be to fly around the Moon. And I need to do some building before that happens. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.